There's no growth in comfort, and there's no comfort in growth. Everybody wants growth, but nobody wants the growing pains. Ask yourself this: if comfort feels so good, why does your spirit still feel stuck? Let's get into it. I'm Lonzy Green, affectionately known as Mr. Flip Your 401k. I help people build holistic financial strategies using their retirement plan, their cash value life insurance to pay off debt, become investors, get paid for life, and retire comfortably. Welcome to From 401k to Freedom. When you have a job, it's comfortable, it's convenient. And so when opportunities come up outside of your company or the job that you work for, you're reluctant. That was me for many, many years, just playing it safe, doing status quo, doing what I was told to do. It honestly, looking back at it, it costs me opportunity. And I'll share with you what I mean. When my firstborn was born, again, I was living status quo. I did have a desire to make a change. And one of the things that I did was I took a step out of the box. If you know my background, you know that I've been in the financial industry. So one of the things that they tell you, especially in retirement benefits, is to not take money from your retirement account. But I did. So I took a loan, all the money that I had to my name at the time, from my 401k, and I used it to seed into a business. And that business, over the course of 10 years, using that seed, which was $6,000, I was able to grow and scale that into a $500,000 operation. Now, I'm still at my job making through salary this kind of money. So just imagine the type of freedom that it's now giving me. You know, I went from pinching pennies to being able to have some of the things or do some of the things that I wanted when I wanted it. And so it gave me a certain level of freedom as a result of that. And with that freedom, I had a certain level of peace as well. But if I didn't step out of my comfort zone and do something that daring, then I don't know if I ever would have acquired that. To take those type of chances, to take those type of risks outside of my job so that I can create the life that I want to create, which is a life of freedom. So if anything, what I'm trying to get at is that growth requires risk, but not recklessness. You can take a risk, but not be risky. There is a such thing as a calculated risk. You want to vet any decision that you make. Just like me, when I invested into that business, I got with a mentor who was already involved in the business that I wanted to get into. And I sat with that mentor who walked me through all of the steps that they took in order to become successful in their business. So yes, even though taking a loan out of my 401k was a risk, it wasn't risky. I was still calculated and methodical in what it is that I was doing. When you're at a job for 5 and 10 years, you do become comfortable. And with that comfort comes complacency. And so what happens is we go from not trying to take a risk outside of our job by investing in things or starting a business into just waiting for the promotion, working hard for the promotion, or waiting for the merit increase every year. That's what we do, waiting for the golden ticket. And a lot of us work hard to the bone and find that that golden ticket is never given to us. And that's what comfort looks like, especially in the workforce. Here's the deal. I'm just going to be straightforward with you. Freedom isn't found in your comfort zone. It's a calling, and that calling resonates within you where it does bubble up some fear, bubble up some anxiety, but what's on the other side of pushing through that fear and anxiety is a whole nother way of life that you could have never imagined. Look, I could have never imagined being in front of this camera, all right? Being able to share this message. But here I am. And why am I here? 1, because I invested in that business. And then 2, I started investing into mentorship and to start getting into communities that I never would have thought I would have been involved in, and just being with like-minded individuals, hearing what they're doing, how they're doing, connecting with them, collaborating with them, has led me to come up with different ideas to get my message out in a way that I never would have done before. And so because of what I'm doing now, I'm going to be able to help somebody the way in which I was helped. And to me, if I can just help one corporate or working professional acquire freedom in the way in which it looks like to them, then my job has been done. Here's the deal. It's important that you create your own plan. And when I say create your own plan, I'm talking about outside of your employer's walls. Financially, specifically, I'm talking about taking other vehicles that are outside of your employer as well as inside your employer and blending them in together. So we're talking about cash value life insurance, but also look at what you're passionate about. Look at what fuels you and think about some side businesses. For me, I always say, whole life changed my whole life, and IULs got me living swell. Well, why do I say that? Because through whole life insurance, I've been able to create my own bank. Well, why is that important? Because I can borrow my own money and pay it back whenever and however I want. I don't have to walk into a bank. I don't have to have a credit check. I don't have to do any of these things. I'm my own boss. You want to be your own boss, don't you? That's what I am. And not only does whole life cash value insurance give you that flexibility to become your own boss, but you can leverage it in a way to get into other investments. So through whole life, I've been able to start a car rental business. I've been able to become a hard money real estate lender. And this is stuff that is outside of my employer. I even have started a financial service business to help you and I, corporate and working professionals, go from 401k to freedom, leveraging those tools outside of your employer to get you to where you want to be. Don't set this by the wayside as well. Self-education. There's nothing wrong with going out there, attending conferences, attending meetings, getting certifications to help grow and develop you as well. No matter how challenging it is, it's going to pay off in the long term. Faith grows in friction. When your life is being shaken up, when things are not going your way, when things feel uneasy, that is really a trigger or an indicator that your faith can be strengthened. It's an opportunity. It's not a detriment. It's a chance for you to grow, strengthen, develop, expand your faith. Put your faith over your fear. And when you put your faith over your fear, guess what follows? Your fortune. Diversify your growth. Your company can be a partner in your plan, but not the plan itself. So let's get into the freedom takeaways. You know, I like to get into mindset, heart set, skill set. First, with your mindset, fear and comfort can't live in the same heart. So you got to choose one. I would say anything that makes you afraid, lean into that. If you feel safe, if you feel like everything is smooth, then that is an opportunity for you to kick some dust up. Your heart set, no matter how seemingly slow you may think things are going, even when you step out of your comfort zone, take pride in that progress. And then your skill set. Do one uncomfortable money move. For example, raise your employer contributions at your job. Pay off some debt that's been lingering. Let's take a leap of faith and put it over fear. And let's put our money behind that faith. Let's put our money in vehicles that build for us, vehicles that we can leverage to start side businesses, that we can use to pay off our debt. Let's use life insurance and understand the value of life insurance and how it can build wealth for us. Now, if you don't know how to do this, that's what I'm here for. That's why we created the Value of Cash Value Guide. And it's going to outline for you everything you need to do to step out of your comfort zone, to build wealth, to grow in a way that you've never grown before. Appreciate you all joining this week. See you next time. Until then, take care.